Hello and welcome to a video that I've really been wanting to make for a long time. This video will essentially just showcase every completed layout or level that I have made in 2.1. Now keep in mind, not all of these will be showcased chronologically. It's kind of like a loose chronological order, I guess. But yeah, before the showcase of each level, I'm just going to talk about them a little bit, give you a little bit of history, and yeah, I really hope you enjoy the showcases. This is a level I don't think I've ever shown on the channel before called Cord Cutter. It started out as a collab. I was going to make the layout and then decorate part of it, and a friend was going to decorate the rest of it. That fell through, so all I have is a partially decorated layout. Now I did dabble with a little bit of sync gameplay in this level, but that couldn't save it. It's still like horrible. I'd give it like a freaking 2 or 3 out of 10. To be fair, it is like 6 years old, but here is Cord Cutter. Now this one I actually like quite a lot. This is Men's Circles. I heard the Living Tombstones remix of this song and knew I had to make some dumbass 9 circles level with it. I had so much fun making this. The gameplay is not very good, but it's not meant to be, so. Also, I did like a kind of 1.9, 2.0, like down bass style deco. Even though 2.1 was out, I didn't use many of those features in this level. This was also a collab at some point, but the other dude dropped out, so I literally just said, fine, I'll do it myself. Yeah, this level is a complete mess. I do not recommend that you play it. I do really think it's really funny though, so this is Men's Circles. I hope you enjoy. Now this is one of my first levels that I actually like decorated. I put all of my heart and soul, my blood, sweat, and tears in decorating this. There's a good amount of copy and paste, not a lot of color variation in each part. It really represents a lot of what I complain about with like common deco. But this was like June of 2017 when this came out, I believe. Never got rated, though I thought it might have potential. It's kind of 9 circles, future circles inspired, but it also kind of does its own thing with like the buffer sequences and stuff. But you can think of it as a 9 circles level. This is XIX, or Zix as I like to call it, because it sounds funny. I have been a fan of the band Cake for a long time, and this level marks the beginning of a soon-to-be trilogy of Cake levels. This layout uses the song Never There by Cake, which also uses that same name. But yeah, this layout is really rough around the edges, but it also has some charm to it. I started the layout at what is now at about 30%, and once I got to the end, I'm like, oh, this isn't even a minute long. I guess I have to make some kind of like pre-drop, which is why the beginning of the layout is so different than the rest of it. But yeah, this level's really old, has not aged well, but I love it anyway. Here is Never There.
I need your arms around me, I need to feel your touch. I need your understanding, I need your love so much. You tell me that you love me so, you tell me that you care, but when I need you, baby, you're never there. On the phone, long distance, always through such strong resistance. First you say you're too busy, I wonder if you even miss me. Never there, you're never there, you're never, ever, ever, ever there. A golden bird that flies away, a candle's fickle flame. To think I held you yesterday, your love was just a game. A golden bird that flies away.
Now moving immediately onto the next Cake layout in this trilogy, this is Shadow Stabbing, which uses the song of the same name by Cake. Now Never There did have some sync elements to it, but I really tried to go all out with the next two in this trilogy. This was one of my first like decent attempts at making sync-based gameplay, and some of it's pretty good, some of it's not so good. But yeah, this is one of the easier layouts I've made, floating around medium to hard demon difficulty. Anyway, this is Shadow Stabbing. Hope you enjoy.
Adjectives on the typewriter, he moves his words like a prize fighter. The frenzied pace of the mind inside the cell. The man on the street might just as well be. The man on the street might just as well. The man on the street might just as well be. Outside, outside the walls, out there you don't hear the echoes and calls, but the steel eye, tight jaw, say it all, but the white paint, plastic saints, say it all, 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 say somebody got to say it all.
Now for the third and final level in the Cake trilogy, this is Meanwhile Rick James. A bit of a funny name, but the song of the same name by Cake is so good. I had to make a level to it. This is what I believe to be the hardest of the Cake trilogy, the best of the Cake trilogy, and it is also the longest of the Cake trilogy. Now the sync in this level is a little bit iffy, but it's definitely some of my best of this era. I'm still very proud of this level, and I had a ton of fun making it. I think I made it in like a week or something. But yeah, this is Meanwhile Rick James.
Disempowered, the scattering flock dances in a fever at the castle rock. Dust
Now taking a few steps back now to about the summer of 2018 or so, this is my level Epic, which I promise is not trying to foreshadow some kind of like creator points. No, this uses the song Epic by one of my favorite bands of all time, Birth of a Catastrophe. This level, oh, I love it so much, but it is not good. It's not good. This is a very old example of me trying sync gameplay, and it shows. Its age definitely shows. Now the difficulty in this level is also a little bit all over the place. It's a little unbalanced, but that kind of adds to the charm in like an ICDX kind of way. At the time, I was pretty proud of this level, but it is definitely not my best work. This is Epic.
Finally, I finished bleeding now, but I don't even know if we're still breathing now. And even if I pondered to myself, would we even try to figure out?
This layout uses my absolute favorite song of all time, At What Cost, also by Birth of a Catastrophe. Now, I made a layout to this song before alongside Epic. Unfortunately, I lost that in a data corruption, so this is like the remake. And this level was kind of my first attempt at making decent duel gameplay, which you'll see later becomes like a howdy staple, but no, this gameplay is not very good for the most part. The pre-drop is pretty decent, I like that. Anyways, this is At What Cost. Okay, this is still a really old level, but we're kind of dipping our toes into when my levels got like kind of good. This is Carnage. This layout uses the song Paradigmatic by Fleetwire, I think, who I'm pretty sure got canceled for doing some sketchy stuff, which sucks because this song is so damn good. It used to be a Newgrounds song, but it got taken down. Chronologically speaking, this is probably the last time I made a level that wasn't bad, that also wasn't a sync level. It has its moments to be sure, but for the most part, the sync is pretty absent. It's just kind of normal gameplay. But yeah, I hope you enjoy Carnage. Fast forwarding now a couple years, this is kind of an unnamed layout. I think it's just called like Eve Layout or whatever on my channel. The song is, I'm probably gonna butcher this, Yoru wa Honoka, which is a song by the Japanese artist Eve. Yeah, I never really bothered naming this, but I'm still pretty proud of this level. I think it holds up pretty well. Definitely one of the shorter levels on this list, just barely clocking in over a minute. But yeah, I tried a lot of new things making this and had a lot of fun with it. I hope you also enjoy the Untitled Eve layout.
今日も生きてしまったなこれで何年息を吐くようについた嘘は何千這いつくばった剣もほろろになって目が回るわそのかかとすりつぶした靴でどこ行くの探すんだその目をしまっておくれよ視線をくゆらせる染みついた部屋で一人即日は切なくあなたに寄り添いまっすぐ言いたいだいぶはついた花心会いたい言葉が焼きました記憶をたどり寂しい星を待って愛されたよ知ってしまった少年夜空を見上げたまま今踊ってさよなら歌って恋願いまで
And here we have a level that was literally called Sync Demon Layout at first. This was kind of the first level I made with the express goal of being a sync level. Now, I made this level like 2.5 years ago, but some of the gameplay in this level is so freaking fire, dude. Definitely some of my best. Unfortunately, I did not playtest it enough, so there's bugs, it's really inconsistent, the sync is kind of wonky. If I put an extra like 3 days into making this level perfect, it could have been so good. And I still could do that theoretically. That seems a little disingenuous, but anyway, it uses the song Je ne parle pas français or some like French garbage, I don't know. I think it translates to like I don't speak French in French or something, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's a song by Amica or something that was covered by Celsius. I don't know how to, none of these words are in the Bible. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this French thing. I'm not saying it again.
Ich hab mich irgendwie verlaufen, hab keinen Plan, wohin ich geh. Stehe mit meinem kleinen Koffer hier auf der Champs-Élysées. Auf einmal sprichst du mich an, salut, qu'est-ce que vous cherchez? Ich sag, pardon, es tut mir leid, ich kann dich leider nicht verstehen. Doch du redest immer weiter, ich find's irgendwie charmant. Und male 2 Tassen Kaffee mit nem Stift auf deine Hand. Je ne parle pas français, aber bitte red weiter. Alles, was du so erzählst, hört sich irgendwie nice an. Und die Zeit bleibt einfach stehen. Ich wünschte, ich könnte dich verstehen. Je ne parle pas français, aber bitte red weiter. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. Deine langen wilden Haare, die kleine Narbe im Gesicht. Selbst der Staub auf deiner Jeans hat Esprit, wenn du sprichst.
Here we are now at the last level that I fully decorated. This I finished in early 2020 and released in early 2021 because it took about a year for the song to get whitelisted on Newgrounds. This level uses the song To Solve by Helen, who makes awesome like chiptune, electronic synth type music on like Newgrounds and YouTube. I'll link some of that in the description. But yeah, this level took me I think 4 or 5 months to fully decorate from start to finish. I tried to get this rated, I tried to get in contact with some mods, and then I eventually just stopped caring. I didn't make this to get rated, but it would have been pretty cool. This was initially going to be like a 5-star that I buffed halfway through to be a demon, so the first like 30-40% is really rough, but once you get to that point it starts picking up a little bit. Now this level is very experimental. The deco does not have a theme of any kind. I just said, hey, let's just make lots of different block designs and decos and backgrounds and just mesh it all together. It's kind of like, sort of like a travel level, I guess, how none of the parts look the same. There's no part cohesion whatsoever. And when I tried to get this rated, that's what some of the mods were telling me, like, man, all these parts don't have any cohesion. This makes no sense, man. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is Amica.
I don't think that's something you have to worry about.
Oh boy, this is Wildfire Corridor, a Death Corridor themed level that uses the song Wildfire by 311. A pretty neat song that I thought sounded very Death Corridor-y, so I'm like, hey, let's do it, man. This level sucks. It sucks. There's no way of sugarcoating it. When I recorded runs to get the showcase together for this video, I really realized how much this level blows. Now, this is debatably the hardest level on the list today. The sync is pretty wonky. The gameplay is like low-end extreme, high-end insane, somewhere around there. But this was never made to be good. This was made to be an homage to Death Corridor, which it is. Do not play this. It's horrible. If anything, I hope you find the gameplay a little bit funny. This is Wildfire Corridor. Kicking off another trilogy of levels that I've made, this is Last Plane Out, which uses the song of the same name by the band Toy Matinee, one of my favorite bands as of late. Now, the sync in this level is a little iffy. I don't think it aged too well, but most of the gameplay in the pre-drop is definitely some of my best, and I'm very proud of it. I just wish I synced it a little better, play tested it a little more, so I hope you enjoy Last Plane Out. And the next level in this trilogy is Queen of Misery, which uses the song of the same name, also by Toy Matinee. Now, all three of the levels in this trilogy have duels in them, but I wanted this one to be the most duel heavy, so I really focused on that. And some of my duel gameplay is really good, and I'm really proud of it, really happy with it. But the sync in some of the parts in this level, it's so bad, I don't know how it like slipped my notice. How did I let this level get released in its condition? Again, I thought about fixing this before the video so I could give you a more polished product, but this seems more genuine. My levels are far from perfect, and I want to show you guys that, hey, look at my old stinkers. Even the good ones are still stinkers in a lot of ways. Yeah, I love this song to death. The song is a little bit fast-paced, which leads to the CPS being higher than almost any other level I've made. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it too. This is Queen of Misery.
Bouncing off the walls, blinding, dancing out in frame. Easy friends who will remain, looking for a home. She wonders who will have the queen alone. Every night the same. the unknown. He asks if he can take her hobbies home. She's looking for someone to give her love that I deny. Oh, some stranger's brief embrace to fill the emptiness inside. She's the queen of ecstasy. Oh, insane domain. Checks her makeup.
And ending off this trilogy, we have It On Salvador, which uses the song of the same name by Toy Matinee. This level has some of my best gameplay I've ever made in the first 30-40-ish%. And then it takes such a nosedive. I just needed this level to be out. I think I was super busy and stressed with videos at the time and wasn't focusing on making this level as good as it can be. Same as the first two in the trilogy, the sync is decent, a little iffy in certain parts though, and everybody's experience is going to be different. That kind of goes without saying. But yeah, this level is definitely the hardest of the trilogy, which I guess makes it a fitting conclusion. I wanted Queen of Misery to be the hardest, but looking back, I balanced the end of this level so poorly. It's so much harder than everything else. But yeah, I hope you enjoy It On Salvador.
Turn it on, Salvador. Drag the bound priest across the floor. Skin to shed, God is dead. What to do? So I yell. Wake them up and shake them up. Death in the gala from here. Turn it on, Salvador. Brutally offensive, but never above. Axe in hand, no demands. I ain't out to point of view. Up to bang them out, to hang them up. Nothing is what it appears. DDD said how he likes to make the whole time melts away while he tries to make the whole. Turn it on, Salvador.
This next series of layouts never made it to a trilogy, it's just a duology, but this is The Wife, the Kids, and the White Picket Fence, which uses the song of the same name by the band Fair to Midland, which is a metal band I really like. This level is really rough around the edges. A lot of the duels I feel are a little uninspired and rushed in hindsight, but a lot of the buffer sequences that aren't duels I feel are really good, some of my strongest gameplay. And yeah, I really love this song, and I'm decently proud of the level, but the next one in the duology is better, I think. But yeah, I hope you enjoy The Wife, the Kids, and the White Picket Fence. That is a long-ass song name.
Mail order brides, turtlenecks and trophy wives, had the ways and means to bridge the border
Here we are at what I think is the better half of this duology. This is Musical Chairs, which once again uses the song of the same name by the band Fair to Midland. This level suffers from some sync that didn't age super well, and it also suffers from a pre-drop that I think is harder than most of the rest of the level, which kind of sucks. That's the kind of balancing I try to avoid, but you never know how my skills are going to develop over time. This level was super fun. I had a blast making all the dual gameplay for this level, so yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how the dual gameplay turned out, which is not something you hear me say often about my levels. Definitely a little rough around the edges, but I think this is some of my best gameplay, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it too. This is Musical Chairs. Now moving on to maybe the best level I've made. I'm not quite sure about that, but it's up there. This is Ride on Time. Now, I didn't really decorate this level since it still has like boring layout blocks, but I did deck it out with some fancy glow in the background just to make it look a little nicer. This is one of the easiest levels on the list. It's about easy, medium, demon, kind of depends on how good you are at sync gameplay. Now, this level isn't very old. It's just from like earlier this spring or summer of this year, but I do think that the gameplay holds up very well. I think the sync is pretty good. So yeah, this is Ride on Time. I hope you enjoy.
Can you see shimmering in the view? The horizon is leading you. Can you feel the flow of time intertwined with humankind? As it beckons on, seems the world is turning anew, and we're speeding towards the lane hears. All the dreams we probably lost and forgot now grow hard, and the clouds just light on time, ticking like the things I've longed to say. Only you can make me feel this way. Yeah, you take my breath away. On time, with the beating heart of yours, keep rising as a new day begins. Baby, we can ride on time. So come on, keep the sparkle in your eyes.
If Ride on Time is not my best level, it's this one right here. This is 1,000 Lifetimes. This is kind of the first level that I really streamed the progression of as I was building it. This is the first one that I actually started focusing a lot on my channel. This layout uses the song 1,000 Lifetimes by Fire from the Gods, and they freaking collaborated with the lead singer from the band Living Colour, which is super freaking cool. They came together and made such a banger. And in my opinion, this is the best gameplay I've made. It is the most balanced in my opinion. The sync is the best in my opinion. You know, take all that with a grain of salt. These sync levels could easily be a 10 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10 depending on who plays them and who you ask. But yeah, this is probably the best experience I've ever had making a level in this game, and I love it very much. I hope you enjoy it too. This is 1,000 Lifetimes.
Sick of feeling right and feeling wrong. I've been in this place way too long. I've been down and I've been strong. Like what the hell is going on? It's getting harder, but I know I'll make it. And there's no code in my DNA to front of fake it. I got these clouds hovering and hanging, and the darkness consumes me. How long will I stand
Alright, we're down to our last 2 levels here. Another duology that may become a trilogy at some point. This is Shower Scene, which uses the song of the same name by Ice9Kills. Now this is up there with the likes of Wildfire Corridor as the hardest level I've ever made. I think the gameplay holds up really well. I think the sync is still really good. I had a ton of fun making it. Most of the drops in this level are like dual ship, which can be really finicky, so I understand if that's not your cup of tea. But yeah, I'm very proud of this level, easily one of my best, and I hope you enjoyed as well. This is Shower Scene.
Come on in, the weather's dreadful. We always have a room to spare.
Don't mind mother, she is not well. Doctors say she's not all there. She's crazy, I must confess. I'm so sick of cleaning up her mess. I hope doesn't mean say now under the pressure we're drowning together, going down the drain, come on back, I'll fix you something, but careful not to cross the line. 'Cause she and I are sure of one thing. She's crazy, I must confess. It's always me cleaning up her mess. I hope say doesn't mean say now under the pressure we're drowning together, going down the drain.
Here we are at the final level. Finishing this duology of Ice9Kills levels is Hip to Be Scared, which uses their song of the same name. This is another level that I focused very heavily on streaming the progress of, and those of you who joined all the building streams and followed along the progression of this level, you know who you are and you're awesome. Making this was super fun. I had a blast. However, balancing this and making sure it synced when played from start to finish, that was horrible. Anyone who's tried to make a long sync level knows that this game is not meant for stuff like that. It gets really buggy really fast. This is the longest layout on this list and one of the longest I've ever made. This is 1 minute and 47 seconds, I believe. But yeah, this is the newest level on the list. Some of my best gameplay easily, some of my best sync, and it's safe to say I am very glad to have this done and out of the way. This was really hard to make. It took so much work, and I really hope you can appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy it. This is Hip to Be Scared.
In the wealthiest sections, a killer complexion is often a great alibi. Valentino couture mixed with violence and gore.
Well, I guess I'm a pretty sick guy.
With my beauty routines and a face full of spleens,
I'd say it's extreme.
but if
And that's going to wrap things up. That is every decorated and undecorated level I've ever completed. I have dozens and dozens more like unfinished layouts where it's just a portion of a level. That's like a whole other video. That's going to be like hours of footage, dude. But yeah, those were all my levels of 2.1. Here's to hopefully many more in 2.2. I'm not like a freaking genius. I'm not going to be able to make like movies and entire games inside of Geometry Dash or anything like that. I'll probably just stick to like normal gameplay. But I am excited to see what I can do with the new 2.2 features. And RobTop, if you're watching this, man, you take all the time you need for 2.2 as long as it comes out good. But yeah, if you guys stuck around for this entire video, I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you hopefully in 2.2. Have a good rest of your day or night, and goodbye forever.